this is Matt with LSAT Cracked. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at what happens when you deal with an argument that doesn't have a structural indicator for a premise and it doesn't have one for a conclusion. Now that might sound kind of scary, but there's good news. When there's an argument, but it's ditched both of those structural indicators, the LSAT writers tend to give you one of four different types of arguments. If you learn these well, you'll be able to reliably and quickly spot them as arguments and zero in on the conclusion of the argument. The first category is when they give you a prescriptive claim. Prescriptive as opposed to simply descriptive or describing how the world is. A prescriptive claim will generally use one of two key words, should or ought. Now that's telling someone how to live their life. And most people don't like to be told what they should be doing or what they ought to do. So when someone makes a prescriptive claim, they often feel the need to back it up. They feel the need to support that prescriptive claim. The second category, when you're dealing with a key verb. Now this is often used in cases where you are relying on a survey or a study. So the argument might sound something like, recent studies establish, it's the key verb, establish. Recent studies establish that most people would want to be told if their dog was going to experience a hip problem later in life. And then they'll tell you the survey was conducted and 70% of people said they would want that. The verb establishes there is an extremely strong verb. It's saying establishes as fact, meaning the thing we observed in the survey establishes as fact that this thing is really true in the real world, which of course is a bad argument. Just because one survey found something doesn't necessarily mean it maps over to the real world. The third category, when someone makes a prediction about the future. We know they're not Nostradamus, so we're naturally going to be skeptical as the listener. That's why, in general, when someone makes a prediction, look for them later in the argument to then try to support why they believe their prediction will come true. That converts the prediction into a conclusion. The last one, very similar to a prediction but more general, is simply an opinion. If I say cookies and cream is clearly the best ice cream flavor of all time, I could just leave it at that, and that's just a claim. As soon as I try and start justifying the claim by saying the combination of vanilla and the crunchy chocolate texture combined to produce a one-of-a-kind flavor that outpaces all of its rivals, I've now converted that initial claim into a conclusion. So to recap, prescriptive claims, key verbs, predictions, and opinions. If you can start recognizing those four templates, you're going to increase your performance on the logical reasoning section.